Εδώ στην Ολυμπία,
The priestesses
ο Άιλο
featuring
είχε
the
μεγαλύτερη
high
αξία
priestess as well.
από τα υλικά αγαθά. Δεν ήταν μόνο η
The
έκφραση
artistic
ενός
director
ιδεώδους,
of the flame lighting ceremony
ενσάρκωνε και την
and the
αδιαπραγμάτευτη
choreographer
ανάγκη των
Artemis
αστρονόμων
Ignatiou, who will in a
ξεπερνούν
few
τα
moments'
όρια
time
τους
formally, there she
να
is,
αγγίξουν κάτι πιο ιερό
and
και
she
μεγαλύτερο από τους ίδιους τους εαυτούς τους,
strike the drum that will
την αθανασία.
formally begin the torch
Η
lighting
Ολυμπιακή
ceremony.
νίκη, η ύψιστη τιμή που μπορούσε να έχει
The
τιμός,
distinguished guests led,
τους
of
έκανε
course,
αθάνατους
by
τους
the
αιώνες, μέσα από τους σύμνους των
President.
ποιητών και τα αγάλματα που θα σμιλεύονταν προς τιμήν τους και τοποθετούνταν στην Ιερή Άλτη, εκεί όπου μόνον οι θεοί.
This is always a very magical moment, the official Olympic flame lighting ceremony. In ancient Olympia, of course, the flame was lit throughout the duration of the games, and that is the continuity that we're seeing in the modern era as well. Once this flame is lit, it will not be extinguished until the closing ceremony in Paris. The dish you can just see there in front of the artistic director, Artemis Ignatiou. We just caught a glimpse of it there. That is the parabola that will concentrate the rays of the sun so that the flame can be lit here in front of the Temple of Hera, dedicated to the Queen of the Greek gods, Hera. It's one of the most impressive of the buildings that remain here on this ancient site, originally built approximately 590 BC, stood until an earthquake in the early 4th century. Artemis Ignatiou has been the art director and choreographer here since 2008 and was first here as a priestess in 1988. She strikes the drum. That is the signal for the priestesses to make their way into position for the lighting of the Olympic flame. Of the 750 or so buildings that have been identified at this site, the Temple of Hera is one of the most dramatic and awe-inspiring. There's a temple to Zeus too, but that was completely flattened by that earthquake in the early 4th century. I think any moment now we will begin the flame lighting ceremony. So on the signal, the priestesses will make their way to their positions. Amongst the priestesses are the High Priestess and the Estadia, which is the priestess who is the keeper of the flame. Joanna Strati, who is the Estadia. And the flame will be kept in that urn. Costume design for today's event is by the world-renowned fashion designer, the Greek-born Mary Katrantzou, who has lived and worked in London and has come up with these extraordinary design today, which just represents the Greek columns. You can see it so clearly. A wonderful piece of design as the priestesses make their way to their positions. Priestess is Mary Mina. Ahead of the lighting of the torch, the High Priestess will ask Apollo, the god of the sun, for his assistance in lighting the torch.
Ιερά σιωπή, να ηχήσει όλος ο αιθέρας, η γη, η θάλασσα και οι πνοές των ανέμων, όροι και τέμποι, σιγήστε, ήχοι και φωνές πουλιών, παύσατε, για τη μέλη να μας συντροφεύσει ο Φίβος, ο Φωσφόρος βασιλεύς. Απόλλωνα, Θεέ του ήλιου και της ιδέας του φωτός, έστειλες τις ακτίνες σου και άναψες την ιερή δάδα για τη φιλόξενη πόλη του Παρισιού. Και εσύ, Δία, χάρισε ειρήνη σ' όλους τους λαούς της γης και στεφάνωσε τους νικητές του ιερού αγώνα.
the priestesses, along with the priestess and the estiada, will now proceed into the arena, where they will be followed by the kouroi and then the distinguished guests for the next part of the ceremony.
Την ίδια ιερή τελετή. Και αυτή η φλόγα θα φύγει, θα διασχίσει την Ελλάδα και θα φύγει στην Γαλλία σε λίγες μέρες. La flamme qui a été allumée pour Paris 2024, cette cérémonie, ce que vous venez de voir à l'antenne, a été tournée il y a quelques heures, car aujourd'hui les conditions climatiques et le ciel et la lumière d'Apollon ne nous ont pas permis de finir cette cérémonie et d'allumer la flamme comme le voulait la tradition. Cela étant, la flamme a été allumée selon le rite de la grande prêtresse et des prêtresses avec cette incantation à Apollon, Dieu du soleil et de l'idée de la lumière, donne-nous et allume-nous la flamme sacrée. Είσοδος προθιέρειας μέρης μηνά ιεριών και κούρων με την
the sacred flame is a light
το αρχαίο στάδιο.
and is brought through into the arena.
With the Olympic flame in the ancient stadium. Entrée de la flamme olympique dans le stade antique accompagnée de la grande prêtresse Marie Mina.
And we will now be joined with the children with the olive branches. The olive branch, of course, the international symbol of peace and reconciliation.
Διεύθυνση και χορογραφία Άρτεμις Ιγνατίου. Μουσική σύνθεση Δημήτρης Παπαδημητρίου. Ενδυμασίες Μέρη Κατράντζου. Choreography by priestesses and Kouri entitled Rostel of Sacred Silence. Artistic direction and choreography Artemis Ignatiu. Music composition Dimitris Papadimitriou. Costumes Mary Katranzou. Chorégraphie des prêtresses et kouros intitulée Frémissement du silence sacré. Direction artistique et chorégraphie Artemis Ignatiou. Composition musicale Dimitris Papadimitriou et la création des costumes est signée Mary Katranzou.
There will be additional choreography now ahead of the beginning of the torch relay, which will conclude this Olympic flame lighting ceremony, of course. The kouroi will follow the high priestesses. Choreography now, which symbolises the various Olympic disciplines, which will be very recognisable. There will now be a second piece of choreography with the High Priestesses. And the sacred flame will now be brought by the High Priestess. And awaiting its arrival is our first torchbearer. The flame will make its journey around Greece before departing later on for France. And of course, it will all culminate in the lighting of the Olympic cauldron during the opening ceremony in Paris. Preceding the torch lighting, the High Priestess will read a poem.
Mater, ο Χρυσοστεφάνων αέθλων, Ολυμπία, δέσποινα Λαθίας, ειν αμάντιες άνδρες, εμπείρις τεκμερώμενοι, παραπηρώνται Διός, αργή κεραύνου, ή την έχει λόγων, ανθρώπων, περιμεωμένων, μεγάλαν αρετάν θυμών λαβήν, των δε μόχθων, Απνοάν, Απόλλωνα, Θεέ του ήλιου και της ιδέας του φωτός, έστειλες τις ακτίνες σου και άναψες την ιερή δάδα για τη φιλόξενη πόλη του Παρισιού, και εσύ, Δία, χάρισε ειρήνη σ' όλους τους λαούς της γης και στεφάνωσε τους νικητές του ιερού αγώνα.
Παράδοση της Ολυμπιακής Φλόγας από την Προδιέρεια στον πρώτο λαμπαδιδρόμο Χρυσό Ολυμπιονίκη, Στέφανο Ντούσκο.
So the first torch is officially alight. Our first torchbearer is Stefanos Douskos.
Olympic champion in rowing Stefanos Douskos. Remise de la flamme olympique par la grande prêtresse au premier porteur de la torche, Stefanos Douskos, champion olympique d'aviron.
Τίνελα, ω Καλίνικε, τίνελα.
Before he commences his journey, we will have the release of the white dove, of course the universal symbol of peace.
Αναχώρηση πρώτου λαμπαδιδοδρόμου για το μνημείο Pierre de Coubertin, έναρξη Ολυμπιακής λαμπαδιδοδρομίας σε λίγα δευτερόλεπτα.
So the torch was lit at the exedra there, that is that stone structure you can see there with the sacred flame on it at the moment. In ancient Olympia, that was where the judges sat to adjudicate at the various games that were held here.
La grande prêtresse, les couros et les prêtresses, après le frémissement du silence, cette magnifique chorégraphie, le frémissement du silence sacré, quitte le lieu de la cérémonie, le stade antique. Et nous allons maintenant assister au départ du premier porteur de la torche vers le monument érigé en hommage à Pierre de Coubertin. Voici le début du relais de la flamme olympique. Έναρξη Ολυμπιακής Λαμπαδιδρομίας.
So whilst the High Priestess and the Priestesses depart, we will now have the beginning of the torch relay, with Stefanos Douskos receiving that honour. It is always a Greek athlete who begins the torch relay, and he will hand over to an athlete representing the host nation. So Stefanos Douskos will make his way now to the Pierre de Coubertin monument. And he will hand over to the second torchbearer. Such a huge honour this for any of the torchbearers. Stefanos Douskos, the 27-year-old, who is Greece's only ever Olympic gold medalist in rowing. He achieved the feat in the men's single sculls in Tokyo in a Olympic record time of 6 minutes 40 seconds .45. It was his second appearance in the Olympic Games as he just passes the start line at this ancient stadium. He competed in Rio, coming 6th in the lightweight coxless fours. Two-time European silver medalist as well. And he will make his way up to the de Coubertin monument, where the heart of the father of the modern Olympic movement is buried. And this torch will make its way around Greece for the next 11 days, covering a length of around 500 kilometres. And while Stefanos Douskos will be the first torchbearer, he will be followed by 599 more. The final torchbearer will be Ioannis Fontoulis, the silver medalist in Tokyo from water polo. And that will be at the old Panathinaikos Stadium in Athens in 11 days' time for the official handover to the French Olympic Committee. But first, Stefanos Douskos will make his way to the de Coubertin monument, where waiting for him is the French swimmer Laure Manadou. So Stefanos Douskos will make his way to the monument, salute it, and then make his way to the second torchbearer. And he will now turn and make his way and hand the torch along with the olive branch to the second torchbearer. Some torchbearers will have more ground to cover than others, but the average will be around 200 metres for each torchbearer over the course of these next few days. And here is the handover. Yep, we're alight.
Et Laurent, je te regarde par ici, merci.